Hey guys, for today's video I'm showing you how to do this look. It's super simple and only uses one eyeshadow, so when you're looking for an easy look on the go, this one's the one to choose. I'll show you how I do it and how to pick an eyeshadow, so just keep on watching. Hey guys, so I'm going to start out with some eyeshadow primer. Today I am using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, as I always am. I had burnt my tongue on the soup that I had the other day, and it like hurts really badly to speak, so, or anything, so forgive me if I sound funny. It's like a slit in my tongue, kind of like the burn ended up resulting in like a slit, and it's really gross and it hurts. Alright, so I started off with some eyeshadow primer. I am using the Lorac Tails and Top Hats eyeshadow palette. It looks like this. Just a really cute palette. I'm going to be using the shade right down here. The way you're going to want to choose the eyeshadow that you're going to be using for this look is avoiding mattes. You could definitely do it with a matte, however I just don't find that it's as dimensional. The trick is to stick with something satiny or a little bit glittery, but not too glittery. You don't want like large pigments of glitter. You just want to have a little bit of a sheen. A lot of the times I'll do like one eyeshadow looks with either this color or this color right over here, because they are on the like taupier side and they do have a satin finish. So what I'm going to do today is pick up this color right down here. It is misleading because it does look like taupey brown, but then when you like wear it, it ends up looking like a pinkish brown, which I think is really great. I'm going to take this off of my hand later. We're just going to go into the look. So I picked it up on my ring finger and I'm going to place it directly on the center of my eyelid and just rub it back and forth here. To make one eyeshadow look like it has a lot of dimensions, what you're going to want to do is blend it so that there's the least amount of shadow everywhere else and then the most amount of shadow in one place, and that'll give you dimension. So you could be doing this with most pigment in the outer corner if you want, but this is the simplest way, especially using your finger, to just get everything on and looking great. So what I did right there was I just went back in and I packed on more color on my actual eyelid and anywhere else that I think need more pigmentation. So what just happened here was, you know how I started off saying it looks really brown, like a warm taupey brown, but then when you actually blend it out, it looks really rosy or like pink toned. So what I did was I made everywhere pink toned at first, and then I went back in with more pigment to make it look a little bit darker and browner on the actual eyelid of my eye. Using the brush, finally, you're just gonna sweep it over the top to make sure everything's blended outward. Especially with working with your fingers, it's a little bit more difficult to blend the outer edges. So just go in really quickly like that and you're done with that eye. So I'm going to go in with my left eye now, doing the same thing, starting off in the center of my eyelid. I have an eye bogey. Starting off in the center of my eyelid and just rubbing it back and forth. And then I'm going to drag it upwards in a circular motion. Trying not to press down too hard, especially towards the upper area, to kind of even things out. So now going back in, I'm just placing a thicker layer on my eyelid. And to make sure it's uniform, I do go in and patch up the areas of my eyelid that didn't get the full coverage. And then going in with the clean brush again. Just doing a little bit of touching up right now. Sometimes when I blend, I feel like I blend away some of the bottom color, and I don't want that. So let's see if I can zoom you in to show you the effect that does to it. It was super simple. I literally used my finger. Okay, so if you can see it on the camera, it's definitely a lot like purpley, taupey brown down here, and then towards the top it's all like a pinkier, warmer look. And that was all using one shadow. So now I'm just going to finish up with my eyes and my face, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, I'm back. I just finished up my eyes using a liquid liner and some mascara, and then I finished up the rest of my face. I'll link all the products that I use down below. Like 80% of the time that I use a dark liquid liner on my lid, I always feel like I need some darkness underneath my eyes to finish off the look. So I'm just going to show you how I do that now. I'm not using any more shadows, and I haven't added any more shadows either. I'm just grabbing my Wet n Wild H2O proof eyeliner and a small angled brush. Just picking some up. I literally just lift it up and pick up some from the stem. Place it on my waterline and drag it back and forth. Of course, if you like it better like this, you could definitely leave it like that. I do leave my house like that about 20% of the time that I do like a look like this, or a lighter look. I just always prefer the like darker look, you know? Same thing, I'm just going back into the waterline. Because I don't have any eyeshadow on the lower lid to blend it out into, I really need to be careful that when I do put this down, I don't bring it out too far until most of the product is off of the brush. Once most of the product is off of the brush, that's when I can start dragging it downwards. So same effect here, where you're creating like dimension and gradient, just using one product only. And again, to do that, you just do more of the product in the areas that you want to be darker, and less of the product where you want it to be lighter. And many times I do always like a inner highlight or a highlight under my eyebrows a lot of the times, but because this is a super simple look that only uses one shadow, I'm going to avoid that today and call this a day. Which means this is the final look. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.